Hey everybody, welcome to CRNT Designers. This is Chetan, and in this Blender tutorial we are going to learn to create this kind of cool looking weapon design. And if you didn't subscribe this YouTube channel yet, then please subscribe it. And without further ado, let's get started. We are going to use a plane to create 2D structure for that weapon design. So Shift A, add a plane, and then go to the edit mode, add center loop cut and delete the one half of the model. And then you can select the words and you can move them along the x-axis in this way. Then you need to add the mirror modifier and then select this word and then Ctrl V and add a bevel on it. Add one segment bevel at there. Then you can select these words and just move them along the x-axis and try to adjust the position. Then move this word along the y-axis. Then select these words and then move them along the y-axis. Then you can add one circle with the 24 words and then scale down this circle as like this. Then delete the one half of the circle because I have added that circle in the edit mode of the first object. Then just give the right position to this circle. After that, press F to fill the gap. Then select that circle and then press P for the selection to make a different object. Then you need to apply the mirror modifier on it and then scale down this circle as like this. This much is fine. Now you need to select these faces and use the insert operation. Then select these top edges and then E to extrude them and move them along the y-axis. Then you can select this corner words and then Ctrl B, add bevel on these words and add a 4 segment bevel at there. Then you can select these words and then scale them along the y-axis. Then you can select these words and E to extrude them and scale them in this way. Create that pointed shape and just adjust the proportions little bit. After that, we got these two different parts at here. Select these edges and extrude them and move them along the y-axis. And then scale them along the y-axis. Then select this first part and then move these words along the y-axis. Then go to the edit mode of the second object and delete the one side of it and then add a mirror modifier on it and then join these two objects together. Then you can use the knife tool and you can create a cut like this. Then select this edge and then move it along the y-axis. Then select these edges and then use the bridge edge or press F to fill the gap. Then select these words and then Ctrl B and V to add the bevel on the words and create a curved shape at there. Then you can select these words and then extrude them along the y-axis. Then you can select these words and then move them along the x-axis to adjust the proportions. Then you can use the annotation at there and create a straight line with the annotation straight line, and you can adjust the position of the words at there and try to match it properly. Then you can delete that annotation. After that, you need to select these faces with the shift select and then Shift D to duplicate it and then press P for the selection to make a different object. Then apply the mirror modifier on it. Then snap the 3D cursor to the center of that weapon, that circular shape, and then set the origin to that 3D cursor and then take the symmetry. So we will get this kind of circular shape at there. Then extrude this shape in this way. Then just adjust its scale little bit. Just scale it a little bit more. You can add one cut at here. And you can select these faces and then press P for the selection to make a different object. Now you can see these two different objects. One is the circular shape and the second one is that weapon outer part. Then just fill this center gap of that circle by pressing F key. And then you can select both the objects and use the Boolean operation difference. So we will get this kind of cut and it will look like this. And adjust the scale of that cylinder. Apply that Boolean modifier. Then you can select these words and then merge these words. I want to create a curve shape at there, so that's why I need to select these words and then Ctrl B and V to add the bevel on these words. And you can see I'm not getting the proper bevel at there, so that's why I need to scale this circle a little bit more. I need to increase the size of that cutout, so I can scale that circular shape and use one more time the Boolean operation difference. So I will get more space for that cut and I can get the right bevel at there. Here I just want that I want to get that proper bevel and it should match that inner bevel. Then apply that Boolean modifier, delete this cylindrical part and then you need to select these words and then Ctrl B, add bevel on the words. And just try to match the proper bevel at there. And now you can see we are getting the decent bevel and we have got this kind of 2D structure for the model. Now we need to work on it little bit, select both the objects and then join them together. Then here you can start to work. You need to create simple cuts at there to create the right topology. So you can use your knife tool to create this topology. Here also create some cuts, and these are the supportive cuts to maintain that structure. And we don't want that weird looking topology at there, so that's why we need to this kind of cuts, and we need to dissolve these remaining edges so we can get a neat and clean topology. And same thing you need to repeat at here also. And just try to create the right loop structure at there. And it takes time to do these things, so have some patience and do these things. Now that loop structure matched properly, and now that's look good. Now the next thing is to give 3D form to it. So that's why you need to select this and then go to the edit mode, select everything and extrude it along the z-axis in this way and give the proper thickness. After that you need to select these corner edges with the shift select and then scale them along the z-axis in this way to create that sharper edge at there. Then you can select this pointed part and then scale it along the z-axis and try to create that gradual slope at there. Then select this edge and then scale it along the z-axis, and now you need to select all these words which are there and then scale them along the z-axis to create a decent looking slope at there, so you can get smooth transition at there. Then same thing at here you need to repeat, you need to select these words and then scale them along the z-axis and try to create the smooth form at the smooth transition in between form, that shape, that curve. Then add a center loop cut, then select the top and bottom words and then use the edge slide at there. And one more time repeat the same steps for remaining words to create that decent looking curved structure. And finally you will get something like this which looks decent. Then you can select everything and then press M and merge by distance, so double words will get merged, and recalculate the normal. And then shade smooth it, and then you can one more time shade flat it if you want that. And now you can see that's look good. Now you can see here I'm not getting proper edge loop because there are some double faces. So you need to select these faces and then delete this. You need to turn on your X-ray mode or go inside of that mesh and then delete the faces. And then you can select these words and then merge them at the center. Like this. So you can get the right structure at there, right loop structure at there. Then you can select the one half of the model and then delete it and then add a mirror modifier on it. After that, the thing is I want to create a proper slope, so that's why I need to create this kind of cut with the knife tool. Then you can add this kind of loop cuts and then try to create the right topology and create cut in this way. You can see that center annotation. That annotation shows me that I want to create this kind of slope on the model. Before creating that slope, you need to create proper structure with the loop cuts and you need to scale them properly. So they will be like straight cuts, so we can get a decent slope at there, because I'm going to extrude that center part of the model. You can go to the side view and you can see that. Then you can create the loop structure at here proper. So that's why I just need to select these words and merge them and create that proper loop structure. And then adjust the position of the words little bit to get the right position for those words and to create the right edge flow. Then you can select these faces with the shift select, and now I'm going to extrude this part. So select these faces and then E to extrude it and extrude it along the z-axis in this way. And now you can see, now I need to follow the annotation at there. Then you can select these edge loops and then Ctrl X to dissolve them. Here also you can select this edge loop and then Ctrl X to dissolve it. Then you can select these words and then connect them. And here you need to spend a little bit of time to create the right loop structure at there, to create the right curve. So here I spend a little bit of time to refine that curve so I can get that right circular shape as well as that right curve. So that's why you need to play with the topology and you need to adjust the position of the words little bit. And then here also you can dissolve this edge loop, so you will get the decent looking slope, taper form at there in this way. You can see at there. Then you can see the side view, and here you can see I need to move these words and I need to match their position with that annotation, so I can get the right slope at there. So just select these edges and then adjust their position, or you can dissolve them and you can create a new one. That's easier way. And here also you can adjust the position of the words little bit at that pointed part and create a new cuts at here. Then you can select everything and then by symmetrize, take the symmetry along the z-axis. Then just refine your model as much as you can to get the decent one. Then here I have just merged the words at there because I like that pointed shape at there. Here we have got a 3D form for the model which looks really well. Now just you need to play with the topology. You need to create the right topology for the model so you can get a good looking form and then add more details. And now the process is little bit fast and easily you can understand.